Hello, fellow fragrance lovers. Welcome back. Thank you so much for those of you who have been watching my videos and subscribing. I really appreciate it. And again, a lot of my fragrance loving friends are coming out of the woodwork. I'm figuring out who has a passion for fragrance like I do. And that's really terrific. So I'm really happy to be connecting with you about that. So I just got this random idea for this video, and I'll tell you a little bit later what inspired it. But today's video is going to be about perfumes that make me think of certain holidays or that I associate with certain holidays. Not necessarily that they have notes associated with the holidays, but it's what I personally associate with certain holidays. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So you'll see what I mean in a little bit. So I have an array of fragrances here to match certain holidays. Most of them I just have one for, but there's a couple that I have two for. So we're going to start with New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Okay, so the fragrance I picked to go along with New Year's time is YSL's Mon Paris Intensement. I guess that's how you say it. It's the more intense version of Mon Paris by YSL. And the reason why I picked this one, it's very uplifting. It's probably one of the happiest, most uplifting, kind of optimistic fragrances that I have. It just makes you feel good when you wear it. And the bottle, it's such a pretty bottle. So the notes in that one, the top notes are blackcurrant, raspberry, pear, orange, and bergamot. The middle notes are Bulgarian rose, white peony, freesia, and datura. And the base is patchouli, benzoin, cashmeran, and white musk. But it's a very sparkly, effervescent, almost reminds me of like a raspberry champagne type of a fragrance. So it's just really bubbly and fresh and fun. And it reminds me of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So that's why I picked that one. So the next one is Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day, I usually associate with sweeter fragrances. And I don't have many really sweet fragrances. I mean, there's some in this collection that I'm doing now, but not super, super sweet. And this one I feel like is balanced well with sweet and non-sweet notes. But this is the very famous Baccarat Rouge 540, the Extrait version. Again, notice that I have a little teeny tiny one. This came in like a sample set, and I really fell in love with this. There is a lot of hype over Baccarat Rouge 540 and, the regular and the Extrait version. They are both stunning, but they are expensive. So the full bottle of this, I think, retails for $425, which is not in my budget right now. But this one is just yummy, delicious, and it makes me think of love and Valentines and all that good stuff. And the bottle, the real bottle, is red. So I just associate it with Valentine's Day. The notes in this one, the top notes are bitter almond and saffron. And then mid, we have Egyptian jasmine and cedar. And then the base is ambergris, musk, and woody notes. And I don't know, this one is just romantic. But it's also unisex. I know guys that wear this because it's marketed as genderless. And I think it's great on guys as well. But it does have that nice little sweetness to it. And I just really like it. So that is, I don't think I said it was a Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrance, and that is Baccarat Rouge 540, the Extrait version, which is a little bit sweeter than the regular version. The next fragrance I have associated with a holiday is Easter. So I celebrate Easter, and I have the Chanel No. 5 Le Haut, the low version of it. And I was really lucky to have this gifted to me by one of my coworkers' wives who actually works at a Chanel counter, and she gets gratis, and sometimes she is super generous and gives me, some of her gratis items. So I really appreciate that. And I wear this one a lot in the springtime. So I associate this with Easter and springtime, and it's just really, it's one of the freshest fragrances that I wear. I typically don't wear fresh floral fragrances, but this one is fantastic. So if you're familiar with the original Chanel No. 5, it's a classic. I love that one too, but for some people, it's a little too strong, maybe a little too heady, a little too mature. And the Le Eau is great because, that's my wonderful French there, Le Eau. Le Eau is great because it's just a little bit more modern. It's a little bit more youthful. So the notes, of course, we have those famous aldehydes in the top, and aldehydes are like a soapy kind of a note. And then there's lemon, neroli, mandarin orange, bergamot, and lime. In the middle notes, you have ylang ylang, jasmine, and May rose. And then the base is white musk, orris root, cedar, and vanilla. So this is just super springy to me. I don't know. So I think I have worn this on Easter before. It's just a really beautiful, classy, fresh fragrance. So that is Chanel No. 5, Le Eau. All right. And next we have one of my favorite holidays because it's actually my dad's birthday, and that is 4th of July. And 4th of July, I love celebrating all day from sun up till sundown when there's fireworks. So I have 2 fragrances for this one. The first one is probably the type of fragrance you would typically associate with a summer holiday like 4th of July. The second one might seem a little strange for 4th of July, but it's one of my personal connections to this time of year. So the first one is actually brand new. So I haven't yet worn this on the 4th of July, but I think it's going to be perfect. I only have the little roller ball, but I love it. So the packaging is really cute. So this is the Escada Summer Festival, and it's really cute. It has little lips on it, which I love that. And this is just, it's super, super, super sweet. After I say I don't have any sweet fragrances, but this one is super, super sweet. It's a little bit of a departure for me, and I didn't plan on getting it, but I smelled the tester at Ulta, and I was like, oh, that smells so good. It's so yummy. So the top notes in the Escada Summer Festival are cherry blossom and ice, which I love. Now it's cherry blossom and it's supposed to have this cherry. I smell almost like a strawberry note in there. It smells to me more strawberry than cherry, but whatever. It smells just juicy. And the ice, it makes sense because it makes me think of popsicles. And I think that's why I also associate it with 4th of July, is like eating popsicles, 4th of July at the, barbecue or whatever. This would be perfect for that. The middle notes are green mandarin, jasmine sambac, and the base is sandalwood. And it's just a really fun, fruity, very, very summery fragrance. So I think this will be great for 4th of July. Now, the other 4th of July fragrance I have here, more for the nighttime firework portion of the evening, I think, would be more appropriate. This is Alien by Mugler. Again, I really get, mostly these travel sizes of my fragrances, or I've tried to, unless I know for sure it's something that I'm going to use a whole bottle of, because I'm at the point where I have so many fragrances, I don't think I would wear through a whole bottle, before it went bad. So I really like the travel size fragrances. So this is the very famous Alien, and people are, it's a very polarizing scent, just like Angel, another Mugler fragrance. Like you either love it or you hate it. I happen to love it. It is on the stronger side for sure. So the story with this is, I am a huge, Real Housewives fan. I love the Bravo shows in general, but especially Real Housewives, and especially Real Housewives of New Jersey. It's like my guilty pleasure. I love it. And if you're familiar with Teresa from Real Housewives of New Jersey, she's the one that flipped the table, Teresa Giudice. I've actually met her 2 times, and the second time I met her, I went, this was pre-COVID, so I hugged her. She was actually very nice. I know people have feelings about her. She was very nice, but I leaned in and she smelled so good. So I asked her what she was wearing, and she said, Alien. And after doing a little bit of research, I realized that she wears a lot of Mugler fragrances. Apparently she wears Womanity. She uses Angel as well. So I guess on that particular day she was wearing Alien, and I had never smelled Alien before. And I was like, I need that. So it was in like the summertime that I ended up, I guess, trying it for the first time. And I was on my way to the pool. I guess I stopped at a department store on the way to the pool, and it smelled so good. I kept smelling myself. And then, I eventually got some for myself. I love the Alien Essence Absolute. That is one of the flankers that I don't think is around anymore. You might be able to get it still, but I think that is one of the best fragrances of all time. But I still like the original Alien. This isn't my original. I got this, I think, last summer. But I don't know. I associate it with like middle of summer now, even though it's a stronger fragrance that you might think is just reserved for fall and winter. I actually really like it in the summer for some reason. So Alien, I have to go over the notes for that one. So Alien is pretty simple. It's actually, the top is jasmine, mid is woody notes, and base is amber. So it's really a basic formula, but to me, it smells really good. It is strong though. You have to make sure the people around you are okay with you wearing it, because it makes a statement, but I really like it. All right. Apparently, Katy Perry wears that one too. I believe I read that. All right, so moving right along with the holidays, the next holiday that I'm going to cover is Labor Day, which I know that might sound really strange, like a strange random holiday to talk about, but Labor Day to me is the gateway to my favorite season, which is fall. I love fall. I love autumn. So I know a lot of people for Labor Day, they try to get like the last little bits of summer in, and they try to savor every last second of summer. I'm the opposite. It is my go ahead for getting into all of the fall things. So the way I kind of segue into that as far as fragrance is my good old standby, Dior Addict, one of my favorite fragrances of all time. I love this one. And I don't think it's completely inappropriate for late summer, because it is sweet. It's not so wintry and deep that you can't wear it at that time of year. So this is just when I just can't wait to start transitioning into my fall and winter fragrances. And, again, this is an oldie but a goodie. It's just wonderful. So Dior Addict, the top has blackberry and mandarin leaf, and mid is jasmine, night blooming, cereus, and orange blossom, and the base is vanilla, tonka bean, and sandalwood. And this one, I get a lot of compliments on this one. There was a time period a couple years ago where I was almost exclusively wearing this. And yeah, people commented on it all the time. And I have a pretty good dent in it too. It's very rare for me to like really wear down the perfume, but it's about halfway. So that is Dior Addict. Okay, next. My favorite holiday is Halloween. And this is the fragrance that inspired the idea for this video. And this is, again, going to sound strange. And it's fairly newer, so I haven't actually worn it for Halloween. But so this is Pacifica Silver Moon. It's one of the new perfumes that they've come out with. I love Pacifica fragrances. I'm just starting to get into them, and I'm probably going to make a video on those. But they are super, super affordable. I believe they're they're vegan, which is great, and cruelty-free. And, they're just a really nice, accessible brand. So I tried a couple of these, and when I sprayed this Silver Moon, I don't know. I just started thinking about Halloween. Just randomly, it popped in my head. So I got the idea for this video. Thought, why don't I just do a video about fragrances that remind me of certain holidays? So this one, again, really simple. It just has vanilla, almond, and spice. But that spice, I guess it's the spice mixed with the vanilla. It just reminds me of all kinds of Halloween things. it almost reminds me of like, you know, when you open your bag of Halloween candy, you have all these various candies and they're all sweet, but it's just the general smell that comes out of them, that like vanilla-ish sweet scent. That's what that reminds me of. Or when you like open a bag of candy corn. I'm not saying it smells like candy corn. It doesn't exactly smell like candy corn, but it gives me the same kind of vibe. So again, it's a really simple fragrance, but it smells really good, and it just reminds me of Halloween. All right, the next fragrance is inspired by my second favorite holiday, which is Thanksgiving. And with Thanksgiving, of course, you know, weather's getting a little cooler and you might start cranking up the fire. And I love fire. I love fireplaces. So, of course, what better fragrance to match that than By the Fireplace, which is Replica from Maison Margiela. And again, this is one I talked about in my first video where it's, you know, it has that fire element, but it's not, you know, it doesn't smell like burning necessarily. And there's a lot of really great notes in here. So this one has in the top cloves, pink pepper, and orange blossom. Middle notes are chestnut, gaiac wood, and juniper. And then the base, we have Peru, balsam, cashmere, and vanilla. So, I don't know. It's just, it definitely has that fire element to it, but with the chestnuts, and it's, you know, so it has a little bit of a food element, you know, to go along with Thanksgiving. And I really like, this is another one that I went through a time where I was just wearing this. And this bottle is pretty old. I probably got this like 5 years ago, maybe. I don't know. But I wore it a lot when I first got it. And I still really, really enjoy it. So that is Maison Margiela By the Fireplace. Okay. Lastly, the last holidays, I thought, should I go for the more obscure, like Arbor Day? You know, we're not going to do that. We're going to go right to Christmas. So I have two for Christmas as well. And the first one, I don't hear a lot of fragrance YouTubers talking about the Goop fragrances, but, you know, Gwyneth Paltrow, Goop, all that. And again, I got this a few years ago, but if you don't know, Gwyneth Paltrow has, you know, the Goop website, and they do sell fragrances and other things. So this is edition 3. This to me just smells like a Christmas tree, but which I'm allergic to, but I'm okay with this. So this one has really interesting notes in it. It's definitely unisex. So this one has frankincense, juniper, black pepper, cardamom, and cedar. And I think the frankincense too makes me associate it with Christmas, because if you celebrate Christmas, frankincense has special meaning, obviously. But I don't know, to me, when I think of Christmas trees. It's very good. If you don't like a tree type of smell, and I don't wear this very often because I really have to be in the mood for it, but when I want to smell like a Christmas tree, Goop, edition 3. All right, and lastly, the last Christmas perfume is good old original Coco, Eau de Parfum, the OG Coco. This is my favorite Chanel fragrance. It's one of my favorite fragrances of all time. So it's not that this has any kind of Christmassy notes in it, but I happened to get this at Christmas time. I was freelancing at department stores a lot at Christmas time to make extra money because I'm a freelance makeup artist. So, you know, I was in the department stores constantly, really run down, working all weekend, insane hours. And, you know, as my little escape, I'd flit around to the different fragrance counters and spray myself. And, you know, I remembered this smell from my childhood, but, you know, hadn't revisited it in a while. But I smelled it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to finally pull the trigger on this one. Finally going to get it. And so I got it one day. It was probably a couple weeks before Christmas. And then that night we got our Christmas tree and decorated. So I just always associate this with Christmas time. And I think it is actually pretty appropriate for Christmas time because I don't know. It just has notes that, I don't know, to me match Christmas very well. So the top notes in Coco are Bulgarian rose, coriander, peach, jasmine, and mandarin orange. The mid notes are cloves, rose, orange blossom, mimosa, and clover. And then the base has amber, sandalwood, tonka bean, civet, opoponix, vanilla, and labdanum. I don't know what some of those things are, I'm going to be honest with you, but they're good. They smell good. I think it's maybe the coriander and the cloves in this that, so I lied. I said there really aren't notes that are associated with Christmas. I think they are associated with Christmas. Even the orange, it's like that spiced orange kind of a smell. You get that in Coco. If you've never smelled Coco and you go to smell it, don't be put off by the opening. The opening is very strong, and it might take you back a little bit. Wait for it to dry down. The dry down is so nice because when I initially sprayed it, I was like, whoa, okay, I like strong perfumes, but that's a little much. Wait for it to dry down. Actually, the dry down is my favorite part. After a couple hours, it turns, a very, more of the vanilla comes out. And it's, a little bit sweeter, but it will hit you in the face when you first spray it, but it is definitely my favorite of the Chanels. I would like to do a Chanel video, because I do have several Chanel perfumes, but let me know in the comments if you would like to see something like that. So, all right, well, those are the fragrances that I associate with holidays. And of course, this is, some of the holidays that I celebrate in my religion, but I would love to hear about other holidays that maybe, a different religion celebrates, like what scents you associate with those, or if you have any other holidays that you come up with and scents that match, let me know. I would love to hear about it. And of course, if you have been enjoying my videos so far, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. That would be great. And I guess I will see you in my next video. Thank you.